Vashi, Navi Mumbai. Just a brief introduction I will give. Is a founder and CEO of Indrones. Praveen started his introductions to drones in early 2012 with initially a college project to build a humanitarian drone for dropping medical and food packets. He started his professional journey in drones with government, where he lead a team engineers to explore and grow the use of drones and drone data for surveying and GIS mapping applications. With all experience and drone industry growing exponentially, he founded Indrones in the year 2015 along with Mr. Ravi Singh, co-founder and CTO of Indrones. Indrones is one of the leading end-to-end drone solutions company in India with capability on working on a large-scale mapping projects and so far work and over 5,000 square meter of mapping work. Although drone data has been a widespread use in last few years in almost all the industries, Indrones focus on GIS and surveying, infrastructure and utilities, mines and quarry and agriculture. So I will request a drone man to present his keynotes over here. Please.
Hi everyone. Thank you, sir, for the amazing introduction. Okay, so my introduction, as sir read, we are probably one of the experienced guys, so to say, from bottom-up approach, where we have understood the uses of drones. There have been a long 4 to 5 years of struggle on setting up SOPs, and we are at a position where we will talk, and I would like to give a brief presentation and would like to showcase what all drones, or rather what we have been able to achieve using drones. I heard a few people saying that whether can you fly this drone, we want to see it fly. But I'm going to do something more exciting. What we have created, how we have used this drone to solve real life issues. So if I can have the presentation up.
Videsh.
Alright, so while that is happening, I'll just quickly introduce myself so that we can skip through a few initial slides about Indrones. Indrones, as sir said, we are a 7-year-old startup now. We are still calling ourselves startup because there is a lot that needs to happen in this sector. This has been identified as one of the sunrise sector supported heavily by government right now in exponential growth potential. We Government of India also launched PLI scheme, which has boosted taken another step for drone production. This was earlier only applicable to mobile phones. The reason why we have mobile phones in everybody's hand, government's effort now is towards also expediting the growth of this market. We happen to be one of the significant stakeholders when it comes to land surveying and mapping applications. So our national mapping agency, Survey of India, has taken up a work of Swamitva Yojana, one of the largest drone project taken globally. It's obvious because India being such a large country, having a lot of rural population, that means the headroom to grow is that far. So under this project, all the villages are being digitized and a title, which is Swamitva, is being handed over to these farmers so that they can be part of the financial process now. You know, I mean, people living in cities, we are having access to great, just buying a credit card and then we are able to take loan more than our income. But farmers having hundreds and thousands of acres of land, they don't have access to institutional capital. This step is going to help support that, and we are proud that we are doing work in more than 3 states right now and hoping to contribute. I have some examples that I can share. If the slides can come up.
About 1.5 minutes gap is there.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
The command was takes about 90 seconds.
Okay.
It's lagging.
That's the lag. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So. Alright, so we call ourselves drone as a solution, a platform for enterprises. We have focused ourselves into commercial field. There is another whole ball game of drones which is into defense, and most of us might have seen movies where they were regularly used, but this is a different side. We can go ahead. Next. So what mission and vision, we are trying to make geospatial intelligence more accessible. What that means is the power of Google Maps and Olas and Ubers of today are basically powered by geospatial intelligence. We hope to bring that to probably every sector possible, starting from construction industry to infrastructure industry. We're going there, and hopefully all this digitization will accelerate the growth of Industry 4.0. Next, please. Yeah, so we started back in 2015 at typical startup story, I started the venture at the basement of my house. 7 years of slogging. Last year we were only 12 people team. Today we are 45 plus and growing. So that's the kind of exponential growth that I'm talking about. We are also, I'm also, as sir mentioned, I'm also one of the founding directors of Drone Federation of India, which was an initiative to solve these problems, to arrive at this situation today. Now we are in a situation where any graduate with enough skills, and we have on the panel Mr. Pranav will talk about training and skilling. Anybody can land a good job and can really make a living out of this work itself. We are 4 critical people: Ravi, me, Harshad, and Dr. Apurva. 50 plus of cumulative experience, one of the leaders in drone-based surveying and mapping. We have also been contributing heavily towards ecosystem building, participating in various workshops, even developing partner networks to let them be part of the solution that we are building and help take their support in scaling these operations. Can we go to the next slide, please? So typically this is the industry that we are working on, and I'll touch upon by the examples. So construction, estimated global market for drone data services or geospatial services is about 22 billion by 2025. Out of that, over 30% is in construction stage. Right? I come from Navi Mumbai, Vashi. We have several large projects going on in data center division, commercial construction that's happening in Raigad and Navi Mumbai region. And each of those projects have now started using drone data for better flow and transparency. We have been also doing automated pipeline monitoring for oil and gas sector. Indian Oil has been, we had deployed drones from Panipat to Indira Gandhi Airport, the line that is supplying, and there is, 60+% of the cases where pipeline leakages are detected is due to sabotage, right? So that's the power of drone. When you have something flying and doing continuous 24/7 monitoring, that chances of reduction of sabotage goes quite high. Besides mining and quarrying, I think we'll cover this with further examples. I'll just skip through a couple of slides here. You can go to the next slide. Right, so this is how the system is working. There are drones, we manufacture drones, and we provide services. Now, we have built a platform whereby we are getting more partners, more and more drone companies to work with us and deliver these services. Right, so we've got, next slide please. Okay. I think I can have that. Right, so we built 3 categories of drone. One of that is sitting over here. A 2 kg drone, 4.8 kg drone and a 7.8 kg drone. All of them have different capabilities. Happy to share more details, but this particular drone is being used in Swamitwa project as we speak, and it generates out of the box. It generates centimeter level data or map, as we call it, using PPK technologies that are there and corrections which are being set up in the country right now. Sigma 75 is another drone that flies for almost 60 minutes, and Vector Vitor is a bigger drone, flies for much longer and can be used for longer range missions. For example, automated pipeline inspection for hundreds of kilometers. We have been building these platforms where our pilots and partners are talking to us. InSync is a ground control station application which connects with the pilot. InFlight is a real-time data monitoring solution. So imagine like in Ganpati Visarjan use cases, there are 10 odd drones flying and you have look of every nook and corner. on the, just like how we have big CCTV dashboards, you can have drone dashboard giving you aerial imagery in Paris. And then InGIS is a cloud-based drone data management and analytics application. So photogrammetry being the underlying principle, we have been using the same in InGIS. Services, high resolution aerial mapping and survey, inspection and analysis. We are doing 3D modeling, precision agriculture, custom payload service, and progress monitoring in construction. This is what forms the drones, the platforms, and services forms drone as a solution. A few examples. So, happy to take up more questions or write to me if you want to know more. But this is a typical deliverable of a drone which is coming from photogrammetry. Orthophoto, which is a true northern image. DSM, which has got elevation data. DTM, after removing the man-made objects, we get to DTM. Point cloud is a 3D point cloud structure, and contour lines are actually used for all engineering developments that we can talk about. Now, this data basically interfaces with multiple industries, sectors, and software. Most of these data is digestible by all our industry well-known softwares like AutoCAD and many others. So in mining there is Surpack, which can digest this data directly. You don't have to do anything else. On top of that, these are some of the analytics that can be used for. So you can do a stockpile analysis. Whatever is left on the ground, you can calculate that. You can create cadastral maps. Drones are being used for critical infrastructure where it's difficult to send a human. So we have a photo over there right above the power plant. And then surveillance and okay, so couple of examples now I'm starting. This is a drone imagery taken 2 weeks apart, and what can the technologies like chain detection do? So an automated chain detection algorithm, very simple one, shows that there is a water accumulation over there. To show how accurate is this, right? So on the left image there is a bike, very small bike. On the right image there is none, and that has been flagged off as a change. And this can happen for the entire pipeline, right? You are flying hundreds of kilometers. You don't have to. You just have to watch a report menu where all the anomalies are marked up.
There is specific software processing this?
Yes, there is back-end algorithms for this. Then we have inflight.live, which is, as I said, it's a platform where the drone data, the pilot is streaming the drone data onto a platform, and then the stakeholders, whoever have to see this, can see that from anywhere in the country. So you want to see your factory, which you don't want to visit right now, you can do that over here, or as an event, as I mentioned. Few of our customers and testimony. Okay, so we can start with some interesting use cases here. This is Mumbai Film City. We happen to work with them, and there was a problem of encroachment. But what is it? What is the encroachment? Where is it? What is really happening? Nobody has proof, right? So once we started doing this activity on weekly basis, and we detected changes like this, right? So you see that small huts, the green patch has been cleared and small huts have started coming up over there. This is IOCL pipeline. The previous slide that I showed of change detection, the same drone is flying over there, and we had automated the entire inspection process. This is again a really large scale water resource department project. Somebody was asking earlier how much data can a drone capture. Is it really possible that you can do large scale data? So I have on screen a 3,500 square kilometer imagery. The entire area is in high resolution as any other image that you can imagine, which is 50 to 60 times better than any satellite imagery that we have freely. Swamitva scheme, I already mentioned this. all land properties are digitized, and a property card is given to the farmer. Same drone has been used there. We have been doing corridor survey for railway mapping. Right, there is continuous development happening over there also, and drones have actually reduced the amount of time it takes to do surveys. Earlier, departments had to, they had no other option but walk. Right now, we are able to just send a drone and then we don't have to walk so much now. We also participated in MMRDA metros project, so line number 6. It was a complete 3D reconstruction of the site. Building, we already have the metro line, trains, everything in BIM. And now when we bring these two data together, you can study what are the interferences that you are getting. Right? If you want to clear out certain land. Most of all, the reason why this data was so critical, as soon as there is an announcement that okay, some railway line is going to come here or some highway is going to come here, people start coming up with small things in the name of getting some sort of remunerations. This imagery, it gives you a snapshot of how your land was looking back then, and you can take the decision on that basis. Chimney inspections, I already talked about this earlier, but small marks without, and we don't do that, but there are companies out there who can even tell you the wall thicknesses of these structures. Right? They can put across a sensor and at every position. We are doing external inspection over here. Imagine if we don't know what is happening inside, it is going to be difficult. So there are sensors and companies who are doing that as well. Then many greenfield projects, mining projects where a lot of land acquisition is required. Drone data has been very fruitful over there. In cases of agriculture, drones like these can also be equipped with multispectral and hyperspectral sensors. We have been working with a few customers and arriving at phenotyping experiments. Right, so Manipur is one of our customers, and they have started building. So it started with a good partnership where they wanted somebody who can help us with drones, and they could develop these algorithms to make their seed production much better. And that is what has been happening for last almost 4 years now. This is our famous Hotel Taj, completely made out of drone imagery. No other things. We have also done that for CST Victoria Terminus. Now, good thing about this is that if you, and any heritage site can be modeled to the maximum accuracy using drone data. Now, if something wears off, something breaks, you have got a historical data of that particular time. You can probably now 3D print it and put it back again. That's it. These are few of the use cases. Happy to talk more. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What are the job opportunities for students? Graduate students.
Yes.
So the job opportunities for students and what would be the salary structure for a graduate student?
Yeah. Should I talk from
Yeah,
there?
you can talk from there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, ma'am, skill is the shortage for this particular sector for growth right now. Earlier it was regulation that has been sorted out. Big corporates have ensured that enough capital is available for doing innovation. But skill is something that will have to take its own path. So there is a certification program which a student can take that is Mr. Pranav owns one of the RPTOs. It's called Remote Pilot Training Institute. After doing this course, it is very easily for a pilot who has got passion to have a starting job of at least 25 to 30,000 rupees. From the beginning, from the day when he can start drawing that, and sky is the limit. Because when we are talking about this, when we are thinking, we see that the operations are not going to be just more, but it's going to get more and more complex in nature. So the earlier a person gets in, he will have that much experience that he can now handle larger, complicated projects. So exciting opportunity
Any graduate get, any engineering graduate in any branch.
Yes, there is actually no requirement of a particular field, but science, typical science graduates can take these courses.
Any other, if interested, can ask.
Is there any international law which governs or controls the use of drones?
Yes, so so this is how it happens. There is an international organization which gives guidelines, but every country and every state in return comes up with its own policy, because every country has got its own challenges to deal with, and even at state level. So Telangana has come up with its own drone policy. So
the close border, drones are entering into other countries and then they are striking.
yeah, so our Indian regulation itself takes care of that. The regulation says that you cannot fly 5 kilometers, near 5 kilometers to any international
I'm
boundary.
talking about the international law. Any international statute or law is there or not?
There has to be, but India itself is saying that we cannot. I mean, if you fly within 5 kilometers of a border, you'll get arrested.
That is for interstate also.
That is for international
National or
boundary.
international?
Only
Two
international.
boundaries.
Yes.
That is for the nations. Different for different nations.
Anyone want to ask any question, please?
Hello.
They would be.
Yes,
Right,
Ravi.
Sorry.
Whenever you get any project, what are the formalities or procedures you have to complete?
Can you repeat the question once again?
Whenever you start with any project, you need to take any formalities, permissions from the government, or what is the normal flow of your work?
Right. So, in the rule book that we have, the regulation that has been passed, the entire country has been divided into green zones, yellow zones, and red zones. Green zones, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is have a registered drone, have a registered pilot, and you can just go fly in green zone. You don't have to do anything. In yellow zone, there is limited paperwork that is involved, and you have to go and seek permission. In red zone, you are absolutely not allowed to fly, and even if there is some urgency that requires special permission, which can take months to come in. So very strategic areas like Bombay is completely almost red zone. Airport within 5 to 12 kilometer red and yellow zone, and international boundary, as I said, 5 kilometers you cannot fly. But anywhere in green zone, which is almost 90% of the country, fortunately right now, you can fly.
What is the height range that the drone can fly?
Yes, so by law 120 meters or 400 feet, and it says line of sight. You have to you can only fly if you are able to see the road. You cannot fly beyond line of sight. This will again but improve and increase. There is other processes that you have to do if you want to fly at height.
120 meter or 200
400 feet. Yeah.
Any other, please? I think there is no question. Yes, please.
Are there any LIC who will provide pilot training for this course?
is the flight time available with this kind of with the current model which we are using? How much flight time actually you get out of it with the battery fully charged?
Yeah.
How much flight time you get out of it?
Yeah.
Considering all the payloads which are actually fitted to it,
Yeah.
cameras, imaging sensor and all, because transmission is going on, all the data is being transmitted. So what is the flight time you get with the drone?
Right. So since we are manufacturer of this and we have designed it, the original design was for 45 minutes. That's theoretical. But the actual flight time when we do testing varies between 35 minutes to 40 minutes. Right. But at that condition, if it is windy, it's gonna give you lesser flight time. Also depends on how quickly or how fast you fly. But one thing can be assured. So on this particular drone, Survey of India wanted at least 1 square kilometer captured in one single flight. That was the condition of complying to their contract, and this drone does that. That is within 40 minutes. It covers 1 square kilometer. So it also depends on how quickly you're flying, right? If you're flying faster, you'll consume more battery. 35 minutes is practical flight time.
Because I was asking because you will get a permission on a particular slot. For that particular slot, for that particular hour.
Yeah.
Okay. And in that time, you have to get proper imaging, like you said. You want to capture 1 square kilometer.
Yes.
So that should be done within that specific hours for which you are permitted to fly.
Right. No. So you're talking about previous regulation. Now it's not like that. As I said, green zone has go fly. There is no time limitation at least from regulation.
If yellow.
If yellow, yes.
Yeah.
So you always take a buffer.
Yeah.
If your field time is going to be of at least 1 hour, you might be reserving the entire day or taking at least permission for 6 hours. But that's
Ideally, how much hour you get a permission?
it's up to you. It does not. It is not dependent on
No,
anything.
if operating in yellow,
Hmm.
for how much hour we get the permission?
So it is not that.
Honestly,
If
so
it
ATC
is
decides.
movement, then you can fly anything.
No, who decides? ATC decides for the time slot.
Yes,
6 hours,
yes.
Considering weather conditions and all. And all.
It's a complicated structure actually. Yeah. It's a complicated structure. Multiple agencies are there. You just give your request. It will either be approved or rejected. Rejected, that means you have to obviously do something properly.
Majorly to whom we have to approach?
Right now, in all practical cases, DGCA.
DTC.
Yes, DGCA is the authority which is doing all these permissions and handling, answering inquiries.
How much this drone cost? What will be the cost of this drone?
So this drone around 7 lakhs is the cost, and yeah, that's with PPK and high accuracy GNSS.
So project purpose drone when we are making, do we have to register that also? Means during the testing and that period also we have to register?
Yes, there is a provision that you can get an R&D UIN, which you can just use it for UIN R&D purpose.
Yeah. Then still we need to take permission for R&D.
So yeah.
We don't be registered in the model should be registered.
Yes.
No need of permission of the
Yeah. So as I said, if it is most of the area is in red zone, but you can send a request that your ground may be made into exempted because you want to conduct training, for example. Yeah.
Maybe during our kids also Photoshop.
Correct. Yeah.
Any other question, please? My question, Mr. Praveen. Irrespective of I have seen some models over here, what about this source of energy, like battery backup, or how long it will run, and is it same for all the models?
Yes. So batteries class is same. Lithium batteries are being used, but all the packs are different. And I think that's one technology that needs to evolve. that's the reason for limitation of 40 minutes as well. So lithium ion and lithium polymers are the two types of chemistries that are being used, and all across almost all the drones in the world.
So whatever in the morning I started as an electrical engineer, we need the power. So without power, even we cannot run anything there. So thank you, Praveen.
Yes, whatever is the open surface, open to air, that is open top surface, that can be painted by nowadays paints are there for solar development of solar. We can use that paint so that battery energy only for the battery charging, that much energy is less cost.
Yeah, actually, this does make sense for larger drones.
Yeah.
So, like a fixed wing drone, the entire wing can be covered with a flexible panel like this.
Yeah.
But in these cases, there is not enough surface area. You need that. So it's
But
not.
nowadays, changing the solar technology is a very short is much more. At least 40 minutes can be extended. All the packages. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Praveen. And I am very happy to share over here. Praveen is our alumni, and we are really proud of him over here. He is saying today, even after 7 years, he is a startup, and he has come with the case studies, that is the real-time data. So really, what is the drone and how it is flying and everything. At least in the last half an hour, everybody have been entertained by Praveen with a real, you can say, interaction with all the candidates over here. So thank you, Praveen, and I am very happy that it will help even for monitoring and even this forecasting and all this right now. Now, our next keynote speech is Mr. Praveen Kumar Chitte, PBC's Aerohub Pune. Sir is aeronautical engineer, aviation consultant for Pune Municipal Corporation, expert committee member for syllabus making on UAV for Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, associate member of Aeronautical Society of India, first drone instructor from Pune, and develop India's first aviation gallery. So I welcome Mr. Praveen Kumar Chitte to present over here.
So, good afternoon all. Very good afternoon, sir. So, myself, Kumar Chitte. I'm an aeronautical engineer. And I directly come to the point when the presentation starts. I'm going to speak about some regulations which have been brought by DGCA or Government of India. What is known, categories, and its general applications which are going in India. So, with your kind permission, madam, we'll start the session. So we start with the fourth, which is the aviation is the proof that even to the will, we have the capacity to achieve the impossible. So at PBC Zero, we are active since 2008. We are providing UAV concept to DRDO. We were providing, now we have gone basically in services. So we are pioneer of aerial shooting using multi-rotor since we started aerial shooting using multi-rotor since. We did the first aeroporting show for Goa government and Maharashtra government revenue recovery. I am aviation consultant for Pune Municipal Corporation and expert committee member for research field development and entrepreneurship. We have developed drone syllabus for their CTS program for 6 months. So under IT and MSQL, they are doing it now. We have also developed India's first aviation museum, that is for Pune Municipal Corporation. We have done more than 350 plus technology demonstrations in school, colleges, in government and private organizations. And I am the first drone pilot instructor in Pune. And now we are a DTE approved anti-drone, that is remote pilot training organization. So these are some of our client lists which we are working with. So majorly government, the film industry, then advertising agencies, corporate companies, and real estate. So this is all about us. So first of all, you are all welcome to the new world of flight. The drone flying is a regulatory drone. So as we come to drones, so every category has its father. And for drone, the drone category, Abdul Karim is called as father of drones. He initiated the drones. He was basically from Baghdad. Then he went to Israel. There he developed a drone called Yom Kippur for Israeli Air Force. Then he moved to US and he developed Albatross, and now it is called as Predator, the drone which helps Ukraine to stop Russia. So due to the revolution just about drones is in front of you, that the drone has changed the scenario of war. The war was easy, everybody was knowing that Russia will take over Ukraine, but it is happening in other way. So these are the drones. So drones, as everybody knows, now the sir sitting here, the video sir, so he is also having an unmanned system. He is an unmanned video system. So the whole setup he has kept it and he is just operating with the, what you can say, from the ground, not at the system. It is the same thing. Drones are unmanned. That means no man is on the board, but it is operated from the ground. So it is also called as RPAS, Remote Pilot Aircraft System, Unmanned Aerial Vehicle or a drone. So as per rules, drones are being defined. And August 21 rules were formed, drone rules 21, and they were formulated by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. And the regulatory body defined was DGCA, that is Digital Director General of Civil Aviation. So they have defined the drones in following categories. So classification are done under weight, design and range. So in weight, they are divided into nano, micro, small, medium and large. Nano are below 250 grams. 250 to 2 kg are micro, 2 kg to 25 kg are small, 25 to 150 are medium, and all above 150 are large. Since in India the trainings are in small categories as of now. So up to 25 kg category the trainings are going on. Nano is exempted from the training category, and micro, if you are not using commercially, then again the certification is exempted for micro. So as per design, DGC has classified the RPAS or drone into following 3 categories: fixed wing, rotary wings and hybrid wings. The one which Indro showed was one fixed wing, one hybrid wing which is having both rotor and the fixed wing also. The in front, the Indro drone, that is a rotary, it is having the wings are rotary wings. And the conventional wings, they come in fixed. And as per range, they are divided into VLOS, PV and VRV loss. That means visual line of sight, beyond visual line of sight, beyond range and visual line of sight. So range of your radio. So it is beyond your radio line of sight. So till now in India, the trainings are going for VLOS only. PV loss will be coming in 2-3 months with DGC approves. So nomenclatures are are in different countries are as follows. So the word drone, it came from France. So France has generated the word drone. So Director General of Civil Aviation of France, they follow the word drone. Some follow UAS, Unmanned Aerial Systems, that is CA, FA, ASA, UAVSA. So they follow US. And in India we call it as ARPAS, and now we are using it as drone also. So this is just the basic information regarding drones and the rules, regulatory bodies. We will move to applications. Now in India there are many applications which are going on. So it is an overview that 1.8 billion crore will happen in India by 23. The things are going on, just as Swabhito Yojana is going on, many more programs are going on. So the reach of that will be around 1.8 billion US. So what are the major sectors where the drones are being used? So if you see, the first one is agricultural sector. Now, first of all, some of you might be from agriculture background. You might be knowing the pain for labor, getting the labor. We are not getting the labor. So, the major issue is being solved by the drone. Now, whenever you take or you get a labor, his efficiency for the whole day is around say 2 acres or 2.5 acres, not more than that. But the drone does the spraying same in 40 minutes. That means in 40 minutes it sprays the 2 acre land. So in a whole day with 5 sets of batteries, the person can spray 20 acres a day. So here comes a business opportunity as an entrepreneur or as an employee for the company. Also, why the drones are being used? When the crop grows up to 4 or 5 feet, the farmer cannot go inside to see where the crop is being affected by the pest or what. Here comes then the drone. So the drone checks the crop health. If they find that at this area the pest has been affected, the pesticide spraying is done by the drones. So drones are now being used for majorly crop health monitoring and crop health maintenance. Now, Government of India has set a policy. They are going to give subsidy for buying the drones, 50%, 60% and 100%. Means 50% for any farmer, 60% agriculture graduate who wants to do a business, and 100% for the FPOs, that is farmer producing organization, up to 10 lakh rupees. That means either 10 lakh rupees or the drone cost is around 7 lakh rupees, then 7 lakh rupees will be given. The next sector is real estate. Now, the conventional way of doing the survey was taking your DGPS, taking all the equipment by hand. The man used to stand at the corner, then the other man. So these were all, what you can say, the old type of doing the surveys. Now, this survey can be done by drones in few minutes or in few hours with accurate data. And data after processing can be handed over to the architect, and they can do the three-dimensional analysis of whatever their further is. So again, drone in this field, you can be an interpreter or an employee for the company. Then, one of the major sectors is engineering projects. Now, if you see, these are windmills and these are the high tension cable lines. So whenever these projects are being done, you should do the maintenance of this. So conventionally, how it was done, the drone is being, the propeller is being stopped. Physically, man goes up, climb it, and by his vision, he physically checks it and gives the report, is it okay, or there is crack or no crack. Now this is not the way inspection should happen. Then drone came into picture. Within an hour, the whole windmill, the drone does the inspection, they took the photographic images, it is then passed to the post-processing unit, and then they process it and they find if the crack is there, all the things are going good. The same way here, in high tension cable, thermal imagery is majorly used to identify the hot spots, that means if there is any damage, any current loss is there, or anything wrong is going on. So, and this is not a single time use. It is always periodic. That means if you get a project, it is not one time. It is a periodic project. So quarterly or monthly the inspections are carried out. Then this shows that the business in drone is easily possible. The next one is environmental conservation and monitoring. Now this is the jungle which we did a project or a pilot project was done in the Rehpuri jungle of migration of deers from one place to another and studying their reproduction system and how they are taking care of their babies. So it was done for 20 days. We used to fly, environmentalist was with us. We used to fly daily at 8:30, 10, 12:30, 4 and 6:30 and 8 o'clock. So this is a thermal imagery of the same. So that the study was done by the environmentalist. Our job was to give him the vision. Same, if you see the tree plantation is being done and the development of the trees is being monitored by the drone. So are the trees growing well? Is any tree damaged? So this is being done again in a different part of the area in Maharashtra. Similarly, at backwater, we did the same thing for the flamingos, the migration of the flamingos from one place to another. And again, a good area, you can be an entrepreneur or you can join the company who is doing this. Law and enforcement, now these all things are common to you. Police are using the drones at different locations. Majorly for public safety from the large crowd, then at seashores, then at time security, they are using it, and the highly restricted areas. So they are using the drones, they are monitoring the drones. Similarly, military is using the drones for monitoring the surveillance. Next one is search and rescue. This example is from US. That the guys were lost in a jungle and at daytime they were not able to detect. So at night the drone was sent, they identified the thermal things, the hot bodies, and then they were found and then they were rescued. Similarly, if you see this drone, so these drones can be used at seashore. If anyone is drowning, the drone goes, it drops the inflated tube. The droning guy will catch the tube and then the rescue team will go and rescue it. So this is where again drones are being used. Geographical mapping, now as Mr. Praveen has told, he has done lots of surveys for these. So finding out the iron ore, magnetic ore, aluminium ore, coal mines can be done easily using the drones now. Shipping and delivery, last week only our state minister has given green signal to start shipping and delivery following the drone rules. In other countries, the shipping and delivery has already started. In India, they will start soon. Now, a far most interesting thing, that is swarming of drones. If you have seen the 26th January celebration or 15th August celebration, swarming of drones, that is flying more drones together, making different figures. So this gives the encouragement for the tourism sector. So now this will be coming to high-end weddings also. These things will happen Again, drone will be commonly known to the people, again creating a job opportunity or entrepreneurship in drones. Next, the drone which made common, special events. Special events, wedding, marriages, birthday events, there the drones are being used in a large scale. This is an unorganized sector of drones, but it is making 40% of revenue of India in drones. Similarly, for film and television industry, now in each document, in your normal daily show also, you will see the shot for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, it is the drone shots are being generally used. Now this is from the Maharani web series. This was done for MTDC project. It is Aurangabad, Viveka Mukara. These are realistic shoots. So for films and television, drone is now an integral part. So there are a lot of sectors where drone can be used. So the scope is in front of you. Similarly, there are different sectors such as military applications which we generally do not disclose here. So military applications are there, archaeological survey is there. Now insurance claims are being done by the drones. For example, if any building has fallen or any part has been fallen, so the drone goes, it does the shoots, and that shoot is now used as a legal source for claiming. Then weather forecast is being used to predict using drones. In COVID period, this is a good example. In COVID period, the drones were used as a sound system, aerial sound system, which was giving information to the people where the area was crowded. For example, in Pune, the Kattawadi area was there, so we did a lot of things. In Dharavi also, some other drone companies from Mumbai, they did these things. So this is the future. So the manned things will be always replaced by the unmanned things, and the unmanned things will be used for the manned things. So this is all about drones and its applications. These are some of the companies which are working in drones. So the drone's name is not here, but the drone is working very good there. So these are basically these companies are what you can say, we have taken from different sectors. So these are some of the companies which are working in different sectors. Now what are the different career opportunities? So you can be a remote control, remote pilot, aircraft system pilot, or an instructor, or an R&D engineer, or on-field support, or assembly engineer, back office support, analysis, or IT support. There are a lot of opportunities in drone sector. So to become a RPAS pilot, what you require? So DGCA is the regulatory body. They have given some guidelines who can become the remote pilot and systems pilot. So eligibility criteria they have given 18 years to 65 years. You should be 10 pass from a recognized board. Now why 10 pass? So the focus of our Prime Minister is the drones. Every village should have minimum 5 drones and 10 pilots. So in making that process, where the drones will be majorly used? So majorly will be used in, if you see in civil, it will be majorly used for farming, the pesticide spraying, the analysis. So in that case, the minimum criteria they have picked as 10 pass. But if you go for mapping and all that thing, you should be, to understand the knowledge, you should be a graduate person. Then Indian valid passport. You should have a valid Indian passport, not one passport. So passport gives you character verification. Because drone comes in a what way you can say, it can be used in a anti way also. That means a terrorism way. So in order to monitor because Aadhaar card we can't say it as a character verification. So character verification, valid Indian passport is necessary. You should have a medical fitness certificate from your local practicing MBBS doctor and an Aadhaar card with your mobile number link. Now as per curriculum, it is a 5-day session. The 5-day session contains classroom. It is a 2-day theory and 3 days practical. So 2 days theory, it is of 14 hours. Then in practical you have simulator training, know your RPAS, and then your actual flight training start. So there are 3 exams. One is theory exam, second is simulator exam, and after the final exam. So theory exam are multiple choice questions which are being from the syllabus which is being taught in 2 days. So if you do pass the theory, then you go to simulators. Again, simulator is why you should get acquainted with the remote control system and the drone. You cannot go directly on flying mode. So once you do your simulator training, a simulator test is being conducted, and post that, once you pass the simulator test, you go for flying, which is of 4 hours 30 minutes, and then your 50 minutes test is being taken. If you finish the test, then you are being awarded a certificate from the RPTO, and within 2 days, a digital certificate comes from the digital support of DGCA. So DGCA has made a platform called Digital Sky. So Digital Sky is a platform made by DGCA which issues the certificate for you. And all your information is available on Digital Sky platform. These are some of the basic rules. You should know that every pilot should have certificate for flying any commercial flight drones for any commercial activities. The training should be done from the DGCA approved RPTO. Permission should be taken online through Digital Sky platform which they are building up. It is not fully built. So till now, what they are given the exemption that you can fly in green zone. But when you are flying in a green zone, if you are in a crowded area, you should intimate the local police station. So every district collector has given the rights to take decisions about it because the platform is not digitally available. But if you are flying in a non-crowded area, you are easily permitted to fly up to 400 feet when the drone is in your visual line of sight. The nano drones are exempted from this. Nano drones are exempted from all the rules. Then, as Pranji has told about green, yellow, and red zones, the red zones are the zones which are defined either as defense area or your airport or what you can say, the ports. So these comes under red zone. Yellow zones up to 200 feet you are allowed to fly, and green zones you are allowed to fly 400 feet. So these are the rules, and they will be amended in coming years. The validity of the certificate is for 10 years until you do not misuse it. If you misuse it, it can be cancelled. So this is all about drones, the basic regulations, the applications, and the pilot things. Thank you. Thank you. How is the process? There is a RPTO, Radio Pilot Training Organization. You have to apply to Digital Sky and DGCA basically now. So they come and inspect your area. If all the norms have been done, they allot you that area. So for example, if government polytechnic boys want to do training, so the training can't happen here. The training will be happening at that area only which is allotted by DGCA. So our institute is in Pune.
Yes,
Pune.
So what is the cost for this training?
So the cost for micro it is 40,000 and for small category it is 50,000.
So you are
Plus GST. Sorry.
You are planning some setup in Mumbai for training?
So Mumbai actually it is a total red zone. Total red zone. We were planning near Mumbai, Lonavala, but again the Railway Valley and whole area is in the red zone. So again it's a issue. So what generally it is when it's a residential course type thing, 5 days the students have to come there. 2 days theory that can be conducted online, and the students can be here and we can take it online. But for the 3 days they have to be there. Fine?
Sir, when you fly the drone,
Yeah.
because of the wings and all, means airs are there. So what about the damage
damage caused to drone or
Maybe some other resources. When it is going up, the airflow is there. So it may damage some part. So who will be responsible for that? Accidents.
accidents? Okay. So the pilot is responsible for that. It is the same how you drive the car. It is same as that. If it is a manual error, it is a manual error. So the autopilot has a data which he can process again. He will let you know who has done the error. Pilot has done the error or the drone has done the error. So drone has insurance. It also has the third party insurance also and the whole insurance also.
So in that case also, license can get cancelled?
No. So it will be investigated. It is not that you have flown it has damaged something and your license is cut. Always there is an occurrence report to be made. You have to write all the data, how the process happened. This will be submitted to DGCA. DGCA will evaluate it and then they will tell the error is done by the drone, the pilot or the third person. Generally, this type of error doesn't happen. The pilot error is how if he is flying on the farm and if the drone doesn't have a collision detection, then he will go and hit the tree. In that case, this is the pilot. But the license won't be cancelled. The license won't be cancelled. But if he does any illegal activity, so if he is flying in a red zone without taking proper permission, then that activity is punishable. Accidents are not meant for cancelling, but to prohibit illegal activities, these things are. Any more questions? Thank you. Thank you.
So let's talk about these details of drone design. Design is not so simple, but in his brief time he has tried to what exactly is the drone design, rules and regulations, and then we have seen that wide applications are there in this drone technology. Subsidy policy, especially for the farmers, which is a major part of our India there. Then I like this environmental conservation and monitoring there. So even that also we can do. And many other applications are there, sir, as even show the companies also, which companies are manufacturing these drones, and then the DGCA policy and all this right now. Thank you, sir. A nice presentation over here. Now next keynote speech is by Ms. Gitanjali S. Mamulkar. She is a research scholar, Department of Computer Engineering, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Lonere, Raigad. She is working on geospatial data analysis using deep learning, and madam has 4 publications. One deep learning techniques for geospatial data analysis, then another is a mapping and change detection of mangroves using remote sensing and Google Earth engine, then comparison of various deep CNN models for land use and land cover classification, and the last one, that is a deep learning model for black spot classification. So I welcome Ms. Gitanjali. Please.
First of all, very good afternoon everyone, and I'm very happy Engineers Day. Thank you, sir, for your time. Today I'm here to present my research publication. My research work in the area of geospatial data analysis. Geospatial data analysis using deep learning. Hello. In today's presentation, I would like to give a brief overview of my research work in the area of geospatial data analysis, the different techniques that I have used for the data acquisition, and use of deep learning algorithms or techniques for analyzing this kind of data, and how drones could be applicable in this area is actually my area of interest, and I'm lucky enough to have attended this conference and heard few of the drone experts and have learned with this. So to begin with, let me tell you what is geospatial data. Basically, geospatial data is any information that has geographical aspect to it. Okay, any geographical location attached to a data is geospatial data. It is data about any object or maybe any event or phenomena that is occurring on the surface of the earth, which has and this data can have location information in the form of geo coordinates or coordinates like latitude, longitude coordinates, or it could be attribute information like the characteristics related to any object, event or phenomenon on the surface of the earth, or often it could be temporal information, that is the time for which the location or attributes exist. Okay. Now, the basic geospatial technologies include geographic information system, that is GIS, or GPS that we all commonly know, and remote sensing. GIS is the geographic information system. It is the database that contains geospatial data, and the technology that is used to analyze this data and visualize the results, or rather managing the data. As we all, in simple terms, I could say, if you have heard about database management system, then this is a kind of database management system for geospatial data. And there are various GIS systems available in market, like commercial or open source GIS systems are available, like QGIS is the open source GIS, and others S3 or MP, you have ArcGIS. These are commercial ones. Okay, I have used Google Earth Engine also as a GIS for analyzing my data during my research. Then GNSS, that is Global Navigation Satellite System, is a general term describing the describing any satellite constellation that provides position and positioning, navigation, and timing services on a global or regional basis. Okay, and GPS is the most you can say prevalent GNSS that we all know, global positioning system, and the GNSS of for each country has its own GNSS, and the one of our nation is IRNSS, which is now called NAVIC since 2016. It is Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. It is owned and controlled by Indian government rather. So it is called NAVIC because it helps in navigation kind of thing, you can say. So the full form is Navigation Indian Constellation. It is India's answer to the GPS system of America. Then remote sensing is a widely used technique to observe and acquire information about objects on the surface of the earth. Basically, the principle of electromagnetic radiation is used in this case to observe or analyze or get information or capture images. In case of satellites, it is for capturing images of objects on the surface of the earth. vehicles, that is drones, which is a cost-effective alternative for the other remote sensing technologies. Drones and the remote sensing with unmanned aerial vehicles have found applications in various areas as mentioned in the earlier speeches, like precision agriculture or military applications are also there in case of drones, and other civilian applications like for you can say delivery of goods or disaster management systems. We use drones, right? Now, my area, as I said, is geospatial data analysis using deep learning. So, what basically is deep learning? It is a subfield of machine learning which tries to emulate the human working of human brain in artificial context. Okay, the artificial neural network basically forms is the fundamental element which is the of deep learning. It consists of input layer. Okay, then there is a hidden layer where actual information processing goes on, and then you have the output layer. Okay, and deep learning has found wide application in analyzing geospatial data because it reduces the task of data engineering. Okay, as compared to machine learning. These are the few of my publications related to geospatial data analysis. I have published a chapter on deep learning techniques for geospatial data analysis in Springers, and which gave you can say a literature review of how deep learning can be applicable for geospatial data analysis. Then mapping and change detection of mangroves is another paper using remote sensing and Google Earth Engine, which has been published in a conference, ICT for SD, and that is sustainability development, as Dr. Abhay Garg was talking about in the morning, and a paper on comparison of various deep CNN models for land use and land cover classification was published in a conference in ICRA 2021, which received the Best Session Paper Award also for this paper, and has been published by Springer. And last one is basically the second and third paper is the other one in which I use satellite remote sensing, and the last one is deep learning model for black spot classification, which has been published in a journal, International Journal of Performability Engineering. So the one that I was talking about, mapping and change detection of mangroves using remote sensing and Google Earth case study. In this paper, I have described the mapping and change detection of mangroves for mangrove coverage in the Raigad district of Maharashtra, as it covers about 40% of the total mangrove coverage using remotely sensed images. Now, what are mangroves? They are basically shrubs found in the coastal region, which are basically they are ecosystem which protects the coastal region from tropical surges and storms, and have ecological importance. And it is very important to conserve mangrove forest. And government is taking necessary, is planning necessary strategies for this purpose. I've used Landsat 7 and Landsat 8 images for the year 2009 and 2019, and such composite images were created for each of the year in Google Earth Engine. This was the GIS that I used. I imported these images and then worked on it. This was the methodology that I used. I created a composite image for each of the year, and then I created training and testing samples
the public domain data set that I imported in Google Earth Engine, and using various spectral indices, I tried to map mangroves in the area of Raigad district, and then using random forest classification algorithm, which is a machine learning algorithm basically for classification. I classified the region, okay, classified mangroves out of all the vegetation, and then calculated the mangrove extent in square kilometers for the year 2000. Detected the difference to find out the change over the decade in square kilometers, and calculated the accuracy for the. Basically, I am from the field of computer engineering, so my main focus is on deep learning algorithm, and this is a kind of application that I am working on, geospatial data analysis. So here, these two images actually. The first image, if you can see over there are red spots in the first image, upper image, and in the lower image there are blue spots. Okay, they are the patches where mangroves were found in the year 2009 and 2019. And when I overlapped both the layers, I could find the increase in the extent of mangroves over the decade. I compared my results with the Forest Survey of India report, and which was quite close to the results that I got, and this proved the accuracy of my algorithm. So this was the work I did, and I found that using satellite remote sensing and Google Earth Engine to estimate the mangrove coverage and detect the change over the decade is more efficient and effective than ground survey, as remote sensing can reach the inaccessible areas, like where humans can't reach. You can use remote sensing, right? Now today I have also not only today, but earlier also I was wondering, instead of using satellite remote sensing, instead of using satellite remote sensing, if I had used drones for this purpose, it would have been more cost effective for me. That was the only reason I didn't create my own data set basically. I went in for public domain data sets that were available on the internet. But it would have been easier for me if I would have used drones. Then next is comparison of various deep CNN models for land use and land cover classification. In this paper, what I did is I used certain machine learning and deep learning algorithms, like residual networks, algorithms and models, and VGG models. These are the deep learning models, and they are pre-trained on ImageNet dataset. And what I did is I implemented this pre-trained model in Keras API in Cattle, and I imported it from Keras API and implemented them on Eurosat dataset. This is again a public domain dataset of satellite images. This had about 27,000 images of different classes like vegetation, crops, forests, then industries, residential areas and all. And then I tried to classify the image, the areas, okay, into these different classes, or classify the images into these classes. And I implemented the algorithm and found the accuracy of each of the algorithm, and found that VGG16 algorithm gave the best accuracy of classification. The advantage of using these pre-trained models was that because I was using pre-trained models, I need not write the algorithm from scratch, implement the algorithm from scratch. I just imported it from Keras API. Though the algorithms were pre-trained, they weren't pre-trained on geospatial data. They were trained on ImageNet dataset, and I used them on geospatial data. And because I used Cattle infrastructure, which is a cloud infrastructure, open dataset was available over there, so that became a cost-effective solution. The work presented in my paper could be extended
apply these algorithms on them, and maybe we can get better accuracy, better results. Okay. Then last one is actually not a imagery data. It is something that I used, like I used geo coordinates to from the traffic police department. Raigad traffic police department provided me the location of accidents that had occurred in the past 3 years in Raigad district. Okay, 2019, 2020, and 2021. And their logic is that accident spot is a black spot if more than 5 accidents or more than 10 fatalities have occurred in the past 3 years at a particular accident spot. So they wanted to mark black spots, okay, based on this data. So they had a record, terrestrial record of accidents that have occurred in these 3 years. What I did is I created a data set, accident spot data set of the location that were provided, the geo coordinates, and the number of accidents that had occurred and number of deaths that had occurred at the spot. I did data pre-processing, that is data scaling, using standardization, and provided two various algorithms just to check which algorithm gave me better results. And I found that multi-layer perceptron, which is again a basic deep learning model, which is basically used when your data set is small. Because there were in all just 63 accident spots. It's actually not, we shouldn't actually say just in case of accident spots. But then, in terms of the size of the data set, it is a smaller data set. So, just 63 accident spots were there. So, for that, I used multi-layer perceptron and applied all these algorithms. That LR stands for logistic regression, LDA is linear discriminant analysis, support vector machines, night phase, and multi-layer perceptron. These are the algorithms. Others are machine learning algorithms, and MLP is a basic deep learning algorithm. I applied all these algorithms to the data set and classified the accident spotting, whether it is a black spot or not, and compared them. And this is basically the model that I have proposed, which takes as input the number of accidents in the past 3 years and the number of fatalities in the past 3 years, and basis of that, it gives you the result. This is again the results that I got, statistical parameters and all, in which I found that multi-layer perceptron gives the best result, best test accuracy, 97.78%. And application of drones in geospatial data analysis, I think this has been covered by the earlier presenters. I won't talk much because they were the experts in this area. I had just gone through what could be the possible applications, and I had just listed out few which would help me in my research area. That is precision agriculture and what else? Transportable gadgets which can map out geographical data, then traffic monitoring, surveying, mapping, etc. And using different accessories, we can gather data in a more cost-effective manner. So, I conclude that drone image processing and analysis software can allow users to perform photogrammetry on aerial imagery, and LiDAR data can be collected using UAVs. And the benefits of using drones in geospatial data analysis is that they reduce field time and survey costs and provide accurate data and map of otherwise inaccessible areas. Thank you so much, and I thank Professor Kasture for inviting me for such a wonderful conference, which will surely benefit me in my research. And I also thank all the faculties and staff of Government Polytechnic Mumbai for wonderful organization of this conference. Thank you, Deshpande ma'am, Principal DTE Mumbai, for organizing such a Yeah, the resolution differs. Satellite image, yeah. If you want a very clear satellite image, you need to purchase them, and they are very costly as compared to drone images. You get better quality, better resolution using drones because they are at a lesser height from like above the ground, so they give better images and at a lesser cost. Thanks.
Thank you, Gitanjali madam. Just on 5th of September, in one of the newspaper, I have read that article that faculties are hardly finding the time for the research work there. But whatever you have presented earlier, that I will appreciate your efforts. That you have done a lot of work in this area. Thank you for your nice presentation with data and analysis. One message is there from Praveen Kumar Chitte that these foreign drones are not allowed in India, but their parts have been allowed. Yeah. So even in India also, the coming area is of drone technology.
Yes, sir. So now import of foreign drones for civil purpose is banned. So here comes Atmanirbhar Bharat. You can take some parts which are not manufactured in India, but the other parts can be manufactured in India. So 70% parts are now manufactured in India. The same drone, if you see, 70% parts they are manufactured in India, 30 parts are imported. So in order to promote Indian culture, Indian sector, Indian industry, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Innovation, they have taken the decision of banning drones, foreign drones. Not only Chinese, but any foreign drones are now banned. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, last keynote speech will be presented by our Mr. Devang Gala, who is the CEO and co-founder of Egan Innovative Solutions. Mr. Devang has completed his graduation from KJ Somai College of Engineering in Mechanical Branch. He has started Egan Innovations in 2016, one of the early startups in drones. Worked with Indian Railways, MRITC, NTPC, Welspun, Adani and Reliance. And looking to his personality as a youngster startup, even he has done the projects in India, Bhutan and Nigeria. So I welcome Mr. Deva and please present your statement.
Hello, good evening. First of all, thank you for inviting us. Happy Engineers Day to all of you. So today, I am speaking with respect to the industry. Most of the applications have been informed by our senior. So Praveen is our senior, so he started before us. After that, we started. And like as today morning when I was hearing the speech by our Dr. Wag, so he mentioned that think for the betterment of the world. So here's what we are doing actually. So we as a company are using drones as a tool to collect the data and then process the data and get valuable insights. So as an engineer, our role is to solve a problem. So there are multiple problems we'll discuss. I'll just go through applications which drones are used. The applications are far greater than what we can think. I'll share some of the applications which you might not have thought of. So just proceeding further, just brief introduction. We started in 2016. So after that, we are a DTE-IIT registered startup, and we like 2014. We started early as a freelancing, then we registered the company in 2016. So after that, we have covered more than 1,000 kilometers of railway projects for monitoring purposes, roadways first projects. Inspected more than 2,000 structures, inspected not only winter by days, but chimney inspection, bridge inspection. So we have developed our in-house SOPs for development. Like basically, what the problem right now is with the new engineers is that they are like the practical training is important nowadays. So I was in a background of mechanical engineering, and we were doing college projects for building race cars. In the industry. Generally, theoretically, it is not possible, but when we interacted with the industry, we get the problem solving IQ has been generated by that. So, I would encourage the education institute to have an industry linkage where the students are either in the form of internship or the form of collaborative approach, where they can actually understand what are the real problems industries are facing or what are the problems which needs to be addressed. So these are some categories of drones which we operate, multi-rotor categories. Some of them are for inspection purposes, some of them are for the purpose of having spraying drones, or some for survey and mapping industry. So fixed wing aircrafts or hybrid aircrafts, I am not going into the details because it is already being discussed. So these are some of our services. Majority of the services are already discussed, like infrastructure inspections or monitoring, archaeological survey. I'll just go through some other stuff which has not been discussed here today. So large scale projects, these are survey mapping projects of the district, entire district or entire state. So these projects are far more accurate than the satellite survey. If the satellite survey has a resolution of 1 meter or 5 meters, this particular has a resolution less than 10 centimeters. Even 1 centimeter in some of the cases, where some of the projects that the resolution required was 1 centimeter also. So if this particular area, if you understand, it is an area of survey of approximately 250 square kilometers, which was completed in less than 15 days. If a traditional method, if we have to implement either total station or DGPS, it would have taken a lot more time with such accuracy. So which is not possible in other technologies. A satellite survey is also possible, but the resolution is not up to the mark. Here we can understand this we did for a metro survey. So earlier the drawing on the left hand side, if you can see, so here you can see only drawing which is a plain map, whereas there is no image behind it. So there is no proof of understanding, or there is no proof whether the information given in this particular drawing is correct. But here, if you can see, there is all the markings. So the alignment which is going this here is also seen here. So alignment is shown correctly, and the structures which are there are verified using a drone survey. So this becomes a proof when surveying or latest technology are being used. So this helps, and I'll just go with the mining survey. So how many of you are from the civil background? Just raise your hand from the civil industry. Yeah, so civil industry has lots of applications using drones. So like we ourselves, Praveen also discussed earlier for the civil. So in mining also there are applications like break line detection or slope detection or contours. So those applications are widely used. They are already done using total station. I am not denying that. But when it comes to getting more data for less amount of time or less amount of cost, the drone proves the beneficial service. We do projects with NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation, for assessing their stockpile on a monthly basis. So these audits are to be done by a third-party company. So we do those services, and you can see here in the slide that these stockpiles are generated in 3D form. So which means that X, Y and Z coordinates are captured using drones. This also can be captured using a total station. A person may go in a grid format and capture the data, either 10 meter grid or 20 meter grid. But here, the points captured in 1 square meter is more than 100 points are captured. So you can understand the accuracy of the data which is being thrown. Next, we do projects in landslides. This particular industry is a very different and very challenging industry. Landslide mitigation or landslide, what do you call it? Post land. After the landslide had occurred, we need to access this landslide. So accessing the landslide is very critical. No surveyor can go on that particular landslide spot to identify the slope or to identify the length or to measure the width in a traditional method. But drones prove here very advanced solution and very cost-effective solution. So this particular landslide, this is a height of more than 70 meters with an angle of approximately as steep as 70 degrees. So this particular slope cannot be addressed by any other technology, but drones prove here as the most effective solution. So combined with the geologist and the topographical survey data, the landslide, the slope can be calculated, the measurements can be calculated. This entire data is in 3D. So X, Y, Z can be calculated here. These are the contours basically showing the landslide. So we have done more than 40 to 50 landslides in India, more than 30 to 40 landslides in Bhutan. Bhutan being a very, the soil or the strata in the Bhutan is very coarse, or I can say it is magnesium, so it is very prone to landslide in the northeastern regions also. So those areas, these particular surveys we offer. These are some of the outputs which Praveen has already shared for the civil application. We do railway and roadways monitoring. We do projects with Indian Railways. This particular bridge you are seeing is a Prabhadevi bridge. This is the Prabhadevi railway station. So this particular application we done entire bridges survey. So right now if you see there is a bridge construction being going on in Grand Road. The Grand Road bridge just finished construction. Baikla bridge is going on. So all those surveys are being carried out using drones. We come to inspection. So in wind turbine inspection, we have inspected more than 2000 megawatt of inspection, which is equivalent to 2000 blades we have inspected using drones. So this particular inspection, if done manually, requires more than 2 days of holding the blades at a particular position, or the power is lost. We do this inspection in less than 2 hours. So using drones and these inspections. So now what has happened is, in India, nobody is aware about the data being generated using drones, the capability of data being generated. So this particular data, if you see, it has small cracks, or this is the gel code which is damaged, or these are the vortex generators which are damaged. These are some of the gel code damages again. So these applications are there. But when it comes to the education institute, so nowhere this is being taught. But this is very important in the case of structural inspection. So I would request the academia to have such curriculum where with presence of we can give the data for research purpose, and the data can be same incorporated as a training module basically. So we have this data and this data can be shared. So we have more than approximately 200 to 300 turbines which we have inspected. So huge amount of data can be utilized for training this application. Solar panel inspection, hotspot detection can be carried out. Change detection, power line inspection. These applications are already discussed. What I would recommend is generating a workflow or generating a knowledge platform wherein a student or anybody can, in this particular domain, can use this data to identify the defects. Basically, we in the industry face challenge right now because nobody is aware about this particular defect. Even the structural engineers from civil background are not aware about this defects because it is not being taught in the theoretical lectures. So this is only possible when we see the data we are at site. The structural inspection like bridge inspection, this is a chimney inspection, the inspection with respect to conveyor belts. So we are doing projects with the National Thermal Power Corporation for inspecting their conveyor belts. This is a ultrasonic testing equipment, a sensor attached to a drone, so which can be used for measuring the thickness, the wall thickness. This is widely used in tank inspection. So these are the applications which nobody would have aware right now, but these are the future applications of drones. These are the internal indoor inspection applications which are done for a tank inspection or oil tank or vessel inspection. These can be carried out. So these are the spaces where a human cannot access easily, or if they want to access, they have to build a scaffolding. But in case of drones, it can be easily done. So I would not say that complete inspection is possible, but a preliminary inspection is done so that we only have to access or send the person to a specific spot of damage.
Even AC vent.
Sorry?
AC vent.
Yeah. So this particular project is a project of these are the bird diverters which are installed on the power lines. Actually, you might not have seen these in states, but for some 433 kV lines have bird diverters installed. So this particular installation is done manually. So a person with a rod will put this bird diverters. These are basically to divert the bird. So this is also done using drones. So we install bird diverters to more than approximately 200 bird diverters installed. So the next is the drone delivery, which is widely known, so need not be discussed. Precision agriculture is also one of the for spraying or measuring the crop health or accessing the soil data. So these are some of the clients which we have done projects for. It includes government agencies, it includes the private sectors. We also done a project for Gift City, which is the entire city survey to be done using drones. So I would also like to share some more applications just which are not part of the PPT.
There are submarine applications.
Submarine applications are also there. Yes. So submarine, inspecting the submarine is the part structure. So I would like to share some projects like there is a company named Snoot which does install GPS markers on the whales. So that using drones. So that particular is an application which is not known. The application of creating 3D platform for gaming. So right now if you see children are playing gaming and that gaming has a 3D space. So that 3D construction is done using drone database. So there are applications for other entity inspection which are non-destructive inspection that is there. So that is the future of inspection. So preliminary inspection needs to be done using a drone, and post that maintenance team can do further inspection. There is a possibility of inventory management using drones. So right now the inventory management is done by a person manually. So a drone can be deployed which will fly autonomously during at least 2 to 3 times a day and to count the inventory. Barcodes can be scanned. So those are the applications. So the other applications include in archaeological segment wherein we make the 3D models for conservation purpose. For example, Gateway of India, if you have seen, there is an open model available on SketchUp done by SIAR. SIAR is a body which makes 3D model for the monuments which can be which are very important, like Taj Mahal, Gateway of India. So those models are 3D constructed. drone applications for delivery. If at all, I want to just say one application which we received is for power line installation. So for a new power line to be constructed in a hilly terrain, a drone was deployed to carry a string of thread to each of the power line, each of the power pole. Those poles, once those threading is done, after that they pull a huge thread, because that is not possible manually in a hilly terrain. So that is one more application. Bullet train project, if you had heard of, uses a drone survey for the application survey. So we have worked with more than 200 companies with 60 years of experience, and having a team of more than 10 people for accessing this application. So I would just like to end the slide with the opportunities are endless. Are you ready to fly in? Because right now we lack, as I mentioned earlier, we lack industry collaboration, or the IQ of the students is not up to the mark. So we want the students to be thinking in a problem solving manner, not just theoretical or just I don't understand, like just with I am getting a salary paid, so I will work this time. So that is not the case. If you are solving a problem, that will create a impact in the society. So that's what out of box thinking is needed. So thank you so much. Thank you once again for inviting me. It was really my pleasure to speak about this. Any questions, please?
We have data is big and accumulating. So you are planning or preparing like a server or backup, the data bank of drone.
So right now we already have a data backup.
It is in national policy is there for the drone data.
Not right now.
You are planning for that.
We can think of, yes, because we have a huge data set which can be used.
A lot of work you have done in this sector, and the data after 20 it will be very, very important.
Yeah, data is very important. So drone is just a tool, but the money or the important part lies in the data.
So you can still your business.
Yes. Any questions?
So do you provide your photos for the projects?
You said yes.
Sorry,
Means the photos which you have taken from the...
yeah, we can form a MOU, and definitely we can search for research projects, because see, in that what happens is the industry will grow. The data is our proprietary data or the client's proprietary data. We can ask with the permission from the client. We can share the data. Of course, some confidential data cannot be shared, but whatever we can share, we can share. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Devang. We know that only manufacturing is not the job, so you have to provide the services. And today's era is like that. Everybody needs that dual services. And I think Devang has tried to speak on this drone solutions and services. Then how it should be a more accurate that images rather than your satellite. Even I have seen that one of the slide where wind turbine blade inspection was there. So we have seen that clear images where exactly the cracks are going on. And then like solar panel inspection, many more applications are there. So this drone technology you can utilize for the structural data, structural audit, your safety audit, even your future applications which Devang is explained over here, non-destructive inspection, and then of course the more applications in the field of electrical engineering there. Because as and when you go to the various voltage levels, it is very difficult to work as a human being there. So definitely these drones are helping to get can say quality maintenance for the higher voltages there. and he has shown and they are also elaborating all these applications almost in all the fields there. So this was our the last speech. Right from the morning session, we have seen that the guest of honor speeches, then our chief guest speech, then in the noon we have seen that the keynotes from all our these dignitaries over here. So this was, you can say, a better occasion that we have organized this Engineers Day program, and in addition to this, we have celebrated this Engineers Day with this technological, you can say, the event like that is a awareness conference about the drone technology there. So I think that everyone was present over here, offline, online, all have heard, and this is the real celebration of Engineers Day there. Now at last, I will call Mr. S.R. Kasture sir to have some speech over here. So please come, sir.
The course of artificial intelligence and machine learning here, we already started, and government of Maharashtra has started this particular course in many places in Maharashtra. So definitely we will be needing the help of all the peoples, the dignitaries and the companies that have it. Ma'am is already doing the work in deep learning. So let us collaborate. Let it not be a last session. Let it be in a group, and I will be continuously following you now. And let us come together, because research and development has to happen, cohesively. So thank you very much, and thanks for the session. This video, as I said, actually we already started commence some activities here in campus. And one of our drone was there, and it was 6 months back actually we made, and it was walking in the sky. So this is a continuous activity, and we'll start this activity professionally in future along with you people. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So even in our institute also we have started. So this is just for all our dignitaries and the audience. And right now I will request Kumoli madam, please conclude the program with your comments.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to thank Mr. Praveen Private Limited, Vashi, Navi Mumbai, for sharing his views about drone technology, presentation and interaction with participants. Thank you, sir. Next, I would also express my thanks to Mr. Pranav Kumar Chitte, PVC's Aero Hub, Pune, for sharing basic information of drone, its types, specifications, applications of drone and pilot training. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Ms. Gitanjali for presenting her research work and sharing her knowledge related to data science. Thank you, ma'am. I would express my thanks to Mr. Devang Gala, Aging Innovation Solutions, Mumbai, for sharing different kinds of future applications
important is I would express my exceptional thanks to Shri Uday Shinde sir and his committee for providing us delicious lunch today. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your continuous support. I also express my thanks to our energetic person, Professor Kasturi sir and his whole team for such a wonderful state conference. Thank you, sir. Thanks to all team members for taking efforts to make this state conference successful. Thank you very much. Now, I request all of you to stand up for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नाम